Okay, how about now? Audio now, brothers and sisters. TD205 in the building. So, that there is no. Is there any audio taking place now? This is the second time I've gone on for about 15, 20 minutes. Some much TD205. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go over there and subscribe to his channel if you have not. Don't go subscribe to his channel if you don't want to see some good, wholesome content. If you want to be encouraged and inspired, don't subscribe to his channel. But if you don't mind being inspired and things like that, then by all means, go. Matter of fact, go subscribe anyway, whether you want to be encouraged or not, because I'm saying sometimes we don't want what we need, and okay, all right. We don't want what we need, and we want what we don't need. But shout out to TD205 in the building all the way from Alabama. I got to get down there too, man. I was talking to a pastor down there, Terrence, and so we're working on some things, and you can expect to see us down there hopefully sooner than later. But anyway, what I was talking about, guys. Okay, a couple folks is out today. Of course, it's such a beautiful day. I don't blame them. It's currently 77 degrees here in North Carolina. Sun is bright and clouds are puffy and the sky is blue. Absolutely beautiful day. So, I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, it is indeed a true saying. Now, when you hear such a statement, what it refers to is the tables having turned. You once were in position and had the what's the word I'm looking for? Advantage, but the tables have turned. The situation has turned, and now the disadvantage have the advantage, and the advantage are now in the disadvantaged position. Okay, and most of the times when people are in position, they ride those rules and they ride them hard. They drive them home hard, man. They have no mercy, none whatsoever, and because it doesn't affect them, because they're not in that predicament. Wow, that's a good looking trike right there. Yes, sir. That's a good looking trike. That thing look good, y'all. But ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, okay? And so you've got to be careful, because in this thing called life, things are liable to change at any moment. I swear that looks like Traveling Tall's pops. But anyway, Traveling Tall, if you're traveling through North Carolina, or if your father's traveling through North Carolina, man, I just passed him. So we've got to be careful, all right? And I live my life by this, and the reason why I live my life by this code is because I have experienced firsthand the tables turning, right? I said one thing and I acted a certain way because I was on this side of the table, and I was adamant about it. I was all of that stuff about it. And then life threw me a curveball, and I was now sitting on the other side of the table. I was young when this happened. I was young but mature enough to understand what happened, and I was able to process it and extract from it some very good wisdom and life application. All right, and so now, even when I have the upper hand, I don't abuse it. Never, ever take your position of power and use it to intentionally hurt somebody. Now, a lot of times when you are in position of power, you are the one that makes the rules. You are the one that has the last say, and sometimes you can't please everybody. All right, and sometimes you just got to make a choice and deal with it. Some are going to love it and some are not. You know what I mean? But as long as you are not intentionally taking your influence and your power and your platform to hurt and harm people, then you're good. Charge it to the head and not to the heart. By God's grace, and I know they say never say never, But I speak firmly on this statement. I will not take my influence or my platform or my power or whatever else I may have or accumulate in life to intentionally hurt somebody. No. There are some people, well, you know what they are? They're bullies. They're bullies. You got bullies in the pulpit. You got bullies on the motorcycle. You got bullies in the school. You got bullies on the. You got bullies. I don't care what walk of life you are in. There are bullies there. Okay, and and you can't hide behind scripture as you know as a green light to bully the people of God or anybody for that matter. You can't take your education and use that as a means to bully somebody who's uneducated just because they don't know how to dot their T's and cross their I's. You cannot do that. All right. You've got to live your life like the one you're speaking to may be you tomorrow. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Now there are some people who can deal with tough love, and if you're that kind of person that can deal with tough love, and that's why you issue tough love, okay, I get it. But consider the one that you're talking to. I had a conversation very recently, yesterday, as a matter of fact, and the individual didn't like my approach. I think for several reasons, but the most important thing is how they felt. Okay, and how they felt is valid, even if I don't believe it to be correct or right. It's still how they feel, and so you have to adjust and proceed accordingly. All right. I know you're not trying to be harsh, and I know you're not trying to this, that, and the other. But if that's the way they perceive it, you know what I often say, right? One's perception is one's reality. One's perception is one's reality. I didn't say that it is my reality, but it's theirs. And if reality puts them in a place mentally, emotionally, or otherwise that they can't receive what I'm saying, you know what I need to do? I need to shut up. Yeah, I need to shut up because what I'm saying has become irrelevant to them because of their emotional state of mind. And, sometimes you don't have control over another person's uh, fragile mindset, fragile feelings, you know. And sometimes when people are challenged, they shut down. They shut all the way down. So as we continue to engage with those that we come in contact with, and if you say, well, I ain't engaging with nobody, then stay home. As we go about our day, we should always be engaging. Always. Oh, I had a beautiful encounter on yesterday. It was in late 70s, mid 80s, anywhere from his late 70s to mid 80s. Beautiful encounter. So much so till the young lady at the register looked at me and she said, "Thank you so much for being so kind to him." And I'm looking at her like, "Thank me for being kind. That's what we're supposed to do." So every day we should seek engagement because in doing so, we may find the individual that needs to be uplifted, encouraged, enlightened, edified, as well as you. See, sometimes the encouragement that we need, we've got to initiate the conversation. And we sometimes become so stuck in the plight of our situation, you know, and the urgency of our emergency. that we fail to stretch beyond the issues. Okay, now I got some things going on in my life right now. True story, no cap. Dwelling on them ain't gonna help them or anything else. So I get on my motorcycle, I begin to go about my day, and I'm going to intentionally smile. I'm going to intentionally engage every opportunity that I get because that transaction, and that's what it is a transaction. When we engage with people, it's a transaction. That transaction may be the very thing I need, not only to get over my hump, but who knows who they are and who they know. Let's just say, okay, Ruby Red is down. Somebody put in the comment section, hashtag free Ruby Red. Lord knows I'm enjoying this. My road. A holiday is a holiday. I tell you now, but the road guys. So anyway, let me point because my body is broken. Today the Lord and blessed me to give me a nice little high. I'm out here still, retro coming in by God's grace. Uh, we reconnected. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me right now. I tell you, I'm in the States. Uh, and so where we are in life. All right, so it looks like connect here, and what time we got here? It's time for me to shut it down. I've got a banquet of sorts that I have to go to later on today. So, finish up my assignment that I'm on my way to, and then I'm going to prepare to head to Mooresville for the banquet. I don't. Well, yeah, it's a banquet, fundraiser banquet type thing, you know, and there's a lot going on in my little life, and I'm trying to hold it in the middle of the road. I'm trying to prioritize things the right way, and I say that from a very good place. I'm like that. I'm just you know, it's facts, man. There's a lot going on right now, and a lot of stuff that's going on right now is it's like a pivotal moment. I've got to make sure that I handle these situations, circumstances, and even opportunities. I've got to handle them right because they're connected to other moves. They're connected to other opportunities. They're connected to so much other things, and you've got to see it like that, folks. Remember when we were younger and I used to do puzzles, and I'm sure everyone has their own strategy. But for me, I would get all the edge pieces because you can easily identify the edge pieces. They're flat, right? And so they're going on the border, on the perimeter, and then you begin to piece them together, and before you know it, you have the perimeter of the puzzle. Then I may look out all the greens or all the reds or whatever, and because I conclude that if it's red, it's gonna probably go with the other red. And then next you get the little dog that comes into the picture. Okay, so now you got this little dog, and as you put together the dog, uh, on his collar you see what looks like it could be part of a hand, you know. So now you start looking for all the hand parts and the arm parts, and before you know it, you got a little boy holding the dog. So what I'm saying is sometimes you got to take this thing called life, piece by piece, to uncover, different parts of the whole picture. All right. And so that's where I am in my life right now. And I've been here for some time now, um, because I'm at a very good place. And I'm saying this because the Bible says they were overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of their testimony. I need somebody else to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth and understand that you too are at a good place. You just have to take your time and do it piece by piece. And before you know it, you'll have the whole puzzle put together. And not only will you have the puzzle put together, but you will have the fundamentals and the tools to put together any puzzle. See, once you put together one puzzle, you got a strategy that works, and now it's like wash, rinse, and repeat. I'm making a U-turn so I can get this parking space, and I'm still practicing on this Gold Wing because it's completely different than the Road Glide. I know my Road Glide, y'all, and but this Gold Wing, it's a little different. So that's it, guys. I've reached to my destination. I actually made a pit stop to feed my gut. I told you I got fat boy problems, fat kid problems. Um, and that's it. Just wanted to talk to you guys while I rode up the road. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but it is what it is. There are some things that are out of our control, and we just have to learn to work through them. So sometimes people take difficulties as a sign to stop, or whatever. But no, not me. I just learned to work through them. You know what I mean? It ain't always trying to tell you to stop. Sometimes it's just trying to teach you how to persevere. Mhm. It's your boy Retro, and for those of you who are watching from TikTok, 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 time is winding up. TikTok, TikTok, time is winding up. Yo, we'll catch you guys on the next live.